It's J Rockets, JR, Team Rocket up, Mindless Thoughts up, BC up, and all that and all that. So let me explain. This past weekend on Friday night, we had an FNL, a special edition FNL entitled Seven Seals. However, there's a big controversy behind it as regarding to the organization of the event and what necessarily happened. So I feel like as light feeders, you guys need to know the truth, and the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So here's what happened as far as Seven Seals. We get to the studio about 6:30, 7 o'clock on Friday night. Um, we give the manager of NOLA Studios the money, and he approved of our use for the event and our use of the space for the event and so forth and so on. Then we get in the studio about 30, 45 minutes in. The lights will flicker on and off, and you'll see that in Paris' solo. And when the lights flickered on and off, I noticed the manager. I went outside to check if everything was okay, and he said, well, there's a party going on in there. Uh, you know, there's a dance going on in there. And I said, first and foremost, it's not a party. It is a dance event, community outreach event. Just told him exactly how it was. And the fact that our name or the name of the event was on the board showed that they knew what we were there for. So it wasn't like it was a surprise to them. But their argument was that the space was not zoned. Space wasn't zoned for the event, meaning that it was, not a lot of people, or there wasn't enough space for the people that were in the venue, which was total BS. So he gave us our money, and he said, "Well, you guys just got to get out." Then he said, there was cops, and that couldn't have been true because there were no windows, and we were on the 12th floor of a building, so police could not have interfered in it whatsoever. But nevertheless, I got the money, put it back in my pocket. And as soon as I did that, I called Pearl Studios. Now, Pearl Studios, somebody at the front desk said, is there any space that we have to rent? Or is there any space that, we can rent? Because we have this dance thing going on. And they said, you know what? There's a lot of space. You guys can just come through and pay. There's more than enough room. So we go to Pearl. Mind you, we went from 54th Street to around 38th, 36th. Some of us walked, some of us took the train. And then I went to the front desk. I said, what we're using it for, we need the space from, by this time it was about 8:30, so it said, we need the space from 8:30 to 10 o'clock. All right, fine. We give them the money. They checked my name and my number. Everything was good. I signed a rental agreement, gave it back in. Everything was good. We get in the room. Everybody's in the room. Lights are half on, half off. And then the general manager comes in and said that my name was flagged, my account was flagged, and I could not use the space, so we had to leave as a result. Now, mind you, before we paid for the event, they did a name check on me. They checked my number, and I had to sign a rental agreement. So if my account was flagged, somewhere along that process, there should have been some type of, hey, your account was flagged. And then I realized, off rip, that it was just not a place that we should be. So as soon as that happened, we were just like, all right, to the next studio. So this is 2 studios that we got kicked out of. Finally go to Danny K Studios, where Wild Out Saturday is. And we were offered a space from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And we did the remainder of the event there. The reason why I was so relentless in trying to get a new studio wasn't just because, there was money involved, but I feel like there were so many people that came out to the event and their expectations were so high of the event that I couldn't just see them and just try to let them down or just give up. I felt like, no matter how much money that I was able to get, Space was able to get, I felt like it was just worthwhile because, you guys come from all over the 5 boroughs just to come to see a dance event. And the fact that we were getting kicked out of pretty much every studio in the city, I just didn't want to take it. And the lesson that I pulled from it was bigger than just, the city doesn't like us. It was the fact that when you're a young African American or a young person of color and you're trying to do something positive, you're automatically a target. So just be mindful of that. To light feeders, whether you guys are hitting or want to do future events, just be mindful of the fact that they don't like us. You know what I mean? They don't like African Americans, and we have to be strategic in how we go about our business as people of color, as artists, and as a movement. And we should be fine by that. As far as the footage goes, the footage will be up on the Mindless Thoughts page this week, so be on the lookout for that. I feel like the people who came out to the people who came out to Seven Seals, they did their best. You know what I mean? I mean, T was there from the beginning to like halfway in the end, which I really respect, because she could have easily just been like, nah, I'm out, dub, it's a dub. And she didn't. She stayed, she battled, she did her thing, versus Mini Swag. Shout outs to her, because she was there from the beginning to the end as well. And she could have just as easily done the same thing that T could have done. But they stayed and they put on a great show. And T Slim, shout outs to T Slim, shout outs to Mini Swag, shout outs to 40 Pounds, Foxlight, D-Reels, Ty Live. I don't want y'all to feel like y'all went unnoticed or unrewarded. So for Apocalypse 2, you guys can get in for half off. If you're not battling, if you're a battler, you get in for free. If you choose to come to the event, you get half off. So everybody pays $10, you guys can pay $5. So that's my treat to y'all. That's my way of saying thank you, because you guys did something that a lot of people wouldn't have done, and I feel like that should be rewarded. And I personally want to thank you and reward you for your persistence, for your, courage. I mean, as far as Spaceman quitting Light Feet or quitting dancing, I'm not gonna throw shade on the man. At the end of the day, that was his decision. I mean, am I in favor of it? Not really. However, that's a person who, from day one, helped me, develop who I am in Light Feet today. So I'm never gonna throw shade on him. I wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors, and all the best that he does. So shout outs to Space. I mean, he's been holding it down for years. I hope he comes back. If he does, I'll be right here, bro. So yeah, that's really pretty much all I have to say about the Seven Seals situation. I mean, just thank you for everybody that came out. This is not the beginning. I mean, this is not the end. This is the very beginning of what's in store. Everything didn't go as planned, but it's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get up. And I'm fully convinced that a movement like ours is going through so much isn't gonna go far. You know what I mean? We're slowly but surely making progression. And if you're impatient, you could dip. But yeah, everybody just be patient. We're working our way to where we need to be as a movement. Just a couple quick announcements. Apocalypse 2, December 21st. We have a venue, thank God. A stable venue, a theater, actually. And we changed the main event from Dream Team versus Junior Mafia to Junior Mafia versus Team Demon. Apparently Dream Team dropped, so they're not around anymore, I guess. So yeah, Junior Mafia versus the Demons, which I'm definitely looking forward to, considering that both of those teams have really good rosters. And I respect O-Black, I respect Jiglob, so it should be a great event. Apocalypse 2. We're releasing a new trailer actually every Monday. And on December 16th, we'll be releasing Write New History, and that tape is done, and it's amazing. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. It's going to be available on datpiff.com and whatnot. So be on the lookout for that. And I mean, that's pretty much all that I have to say. Light Feet up, Mindless Thoughts up, Team Rocket up. A lot of people may have given up on this movement, but I haven't. And I can't make any big promises, but I promise you that I'll do the best that I can to make sure that you guys as dancers are being fed or being exposed to every possible avenue that you can be exposed to as far as dance. That's all that I can say. I love y'all, and I'm out.